Welcome back, Dual Coast fans. Good morning, everybody.
We are live.
We are live, as Russ just said. I'm your host, Dan Skoka. We got my co-host, Russ Rogers, on the West Coast, joined by a very special guest this morning, Sally Phu. Sally, how you doing?
Doing awesome. It's gloomy here, but hey, everything's bright.
Okay.
How's the mountain time there?
We are at 7:30 Central Time, and there's no sunlight.
Still no sunlight at 7:30.
7:30?
No.
Wow.
Very foggy right now.
Wow. Yeah. Jared tell us that last time when he was on. He said it stays very dark for a while. Is that true?
It's very true.
Yeah, I think that's what he said also.
Wow. Oh, I got my camera out. Come out, camera. Anyway.
That's okay.
We are so excited to have you, Sally. This is amazing.
Yes.
You know, so I'm going to give a little backdrop to Sally, how we met. So Sally and I met. She was doing a live on Instagram. Hence, here we are. She was doing a live on Instagram, and I was listening to this live, and I was like, this sounds like an intriguing, intelligent woman that I want to get to know. So I DM'd her. She, at some point, I don't know if it was immediate. I don't remember if it was immediate or, within a day or two. But anyway, she messaged me back. So we had a little dialogue going on. And then we started to have like these little meetings, right? And we started getting into it. And then all of a sudden, Sally disappeared. And then, so she just disappeared. So in the term of today, ghost. Okay. She ghosted me. So I'm not going to take it personal because I know Sally now. But anyway, so we reconnected. We started it. Well, the funny thing is, she said this last week because I was in Minnesota. She said she had this guy that was kind of, this creeper guy on Instagram. I love it. So anyway, long story short, Sally and her husband, Michael, ended up coming to California to our event back in May of this year to Impact Santa Cruz Today. We got a chance to meet. We got a chance to hang out afterwards, have lunch, and just get to know each other. Fast forwarding, last week I was in Minnesota for an event. Sally, Michael, and I hung out a lot. We had a lot of coffee. We had a lot of ice cream. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of laughs. And we were setting the stage for what is to come in 2026, which is Impact Minneapolis Today. Sally, my friend, I am so grateful that you allowed me to come into your life and for us to get to know each other and for me to be introduced into some of your community there in Minnesota. Fabulous. This lady is fabulous. She is intelligent. She is witty. She is very well spoken. Her and her husband are in finance. And today we're going to do something a little bit different. I mean, we kind of go into people's stories, but Sally's going to talk a little bit about her history and how she came to the United States and that transition of what it's like to be here today. And then we'll get into wellness, health, mental and physical wellness. So Sally, it is yours. Camera is on. Plants look good. Lighting looks good. Backdrop looks good. Everything looks good. So welcome to Dual Coast today.
Yes.
Hey, Russell. Hey, Dan. Thanks so much for having me on Dual Coast. It's been amazing. And thanks for that wonderful introduction. I feel a lot of pressure.
The pressure here on Dual Coast is intense. Just don't let it get to you. Don't crumble.
Okay. My story is actually something that I didn't think was so important until I shared it many times the last 5 years, and there has been a lot of people resonating with it. And I thought maybe I need to talk about it more, to share more about how we came to the United States. I am a Chinese born in Vietnam. So my grandma and grandpa escaped China and came to Vietnam. They had a rough start. But my parents were born in Vietnam and I was born in Vietnam. So I never really know the feeling of being in my own country. And we moved to America when I was 12. And that was like one of the best things that happened to me. Because even living in Saigon, it was busy. There was a lot of things to do. I stayed in my own room reading books because it was just, I didn't feel belong for some reason.
That's why she's intelligent. That's why she's intelligent.
Yeah, it was like
She's a reader.
not for me. When we came to America, I went outside. I was like, wow, look at all the grass and all the little things that I can do. So I got out my book and actually start experiencing life. Now, life wasn't the easiest when we came here. My mom's brother actually sponsored us, and it took 20 years for us to get here. So it's not that we just crossed the border and then we're here.
That's longer than Columbus.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a long time. And my parents were business owners back in Vietnam, and I got to see them just, living life very, very comfortably. We were able to go to school because you have to pay for education in Vietnam, and we go on vacation every single year. When we came to the US, for the first time, I saw my parents went to work at a factory. My dad is still working in that same factory as a supervisor. My mom couldn't handle it more than 2 weeks. She complained her back was aching, her hands were hurting. So she she started studying how to do nails on the weekends. And my dad took on a second job at the restaurant on the weekend as well. So he was working 7 days a week, and they were in their 30s at that time. And my mom told me a story later on when I got older. She said, one time I wanted pizza. I asked your dad, hey, can we afford pizza right now? And dad said, no, honey, it's not in the budget. So my mom broke down crying because it's so fundamental. It's food for the family. And we were not able to afford something that we thought was, delicious, which it is. So she called my aunt, and my aunt called my dad, scolded him. What do you mean you cannot afford pizza? Order pizza, I'm gonna pay right now. But those were the memories that I had as a 12-year-old, how life was in America. And I didn't think it was rough. I just thought it was different. And I didn't think it was any challenge. Maybe I was really young and I was adapting and really excited for this new world. Living in Minnesota, we live in a small town called Farmington. When I went to high school, there was like 5 Asians, me, my sister, my brother, and 2 other people. So there was a lot of white folks going around, right? And I never experienced racism. I don't know. Maybe I just block it out, or when people say something to me like, oh, you have an accent, I didn't take it personally. I just thought, yes, I have an accent because I speak 3 other languages. And I hear my other friends in the ESL class really talking about, oh yeah, this guy was making fun of me, that guy was making fun of my language, my skin color, they're racist. And I really have to think, what is really racism? How does it feel like? How does it feel to be racist or receive those negative comments? So I really think that is a mindset. It's a feeling that you have, right? It's not something that's really happening at all. Before we came to the US, though, I want to share this part. Whenever we hear about American, we're like, wow, they are superior. Everything that comes from USA, made in USA, is like prestige. We treasure it. I remember all those times that my aunt and uncle come and visit Vietnam. They would bring chocolate, shoes, tennis shoes for us, beef, butter. All those things are like abundance in America, but in Vietnam, it's like, wow, we must treasure this.
Pizza.
Pizza, yeah.
Oh, we didn't get but butter was like one of my favorite things. And if you ever get to see my IG, I'm like chomping on butter.
Yep.
Oh, man, Sally, that's hilarious.
I have actually asked Sally how she makes certain butter recipes on Instagram.
It's fantastic. It's what gives me a lot of energy and less cravings. So I'm going to talk about that later. Now, fast forward.
Okay. All right.
Okay, graduating high school, I had to decide really, what do I want to do with my life? Do I want to work at my mom's nail salon? She had a nail salon at that time. Or do I want to go to college for 4 years, graduate, find a good company to work for, work until I'm 65, and then retire? Really? Is that how the roadmap is? And I really, at 18 years old, I started questioning, what else can I do with my life? Yeah. So I went to college for radiology. The first year I got into it, I was having so much fun. at the student center learning how to play ping pong and pool. I failed anatomy, and I got a C in physics. Typical college story. And I actually got introduced into the financial world. I started learning how money works, how tax and inflation works. Now, I didn't know any of this going to school. So I thought, if I don't know this, I must learn it so I can take care of myself and my family. And that's it. I didn't think that I would turn it into a career, which I did. And since I was 19 is when I got into the financial industry. Now, even though I'm a very bubbly person, I'm actually an introvert. I would hang out with you like, Russell, oh my gosh, after 3 days, I take the whole week off. I'm like, I'm talking to people. So Russell tried to call me. I'm like, yeah, not right now, Russell.
She told me that yesterday. She told me that. She shot me down.
Yeah. So it was really hard for me to actually get out and try to meet new people. Mind you, I was 19, talking to people who are like 40s, 50, trying to help them with their finance. And at one point, they asked me, do you have your finance figured out? Are you sure you can help me figure out my finance? So there was so much mental and emotional hurdles that I had to go through. And I tried to grow up too fast. I wanted to be like my colleagues who are in their 30s, speaking with confidence and authority. And so I changed the way I look, the way I did my makeup, my hair, and even the way I talk. When I was 22 years old, they thought I was like 32 just because of the vocabularies I was using and the way I carried myself. Now, fast, even more forward, life was great. Being in finance, you make good money. You meet great people, and my lifestyle changed with it as well. I started driving a luxury car, traveling every single year with my family. We go international every single year, and I am really blessed to be able to experience all those things without being sick, because I was working 14, 16 hours a day, sometimes 7 days a week.
Wow.
And I had at that time, I had my daughter when I was 23. And I remember coming home at 11 p.m. She was already sleeping with my parents. Then I carry her into my bed. We go to sleep. I woke up at 6 a.m., got myself ready, got her ready. That 20 minutes driving her to school, that's all the time that we got to spend. And she was still sleeping and drowsy the whole time. And the day repeats and repeats. And then Sunday, sometime I would have time to spend with her. Other time I would be joining functions, events, or meeting other clients that can only meet on the weekends. And that was a very busy life. Blessed I didn't get sick. Otherwise, I have no idea how I would handle it. I was a single mom at one point. And when I turned 29 years old, I think I was driving to office one morning. It was kind of gloomy. My car, I had like an Audi, and it drives so nice, like a butter, right? I thought, oh, what a great life.
Butter is going to be carried out throughout this talk, by the way.
I thought to myself, what an amazing life I'm living. When is it going to end? When is it going to change and get worse? For some reason in my mind, I thought something bad is going to happen, where I'm going to lose everything good that was happening to me. And that was just a feeling. It might not be happening. But I was asking myself, I really would like to have dinner with my family every single night. And I would really like to homeschool my daughter. And in my head, I was thinking, how would I make that happen with my current work and schedule? Yeah, I can make it happen, but it would be a lot of strain on myself and the business. So in 2019, the very interesting thing is, when you have a desire that universe or God put into you, your life starts to shift towards that path, towards that route, without you even knowing. It's very subconscious. I started to look at how do I start to come home more. First of all, I started to put my family first, not my business first. And I started to have a little conflict with my parents, with their relationship, because I show up more at home. Now, something happened in 2019 where I'm currently in 2019, I was in a very intimate relationship with Michael, my current husband. And I just thought he didn't love me. I wanted to break up with him. I just, over dishes. He was cleaning dishes and I was trying to talk to him, and then he'll make me mad. And I call him and say, hey, I don't think we belong together. Maybe we should break up. And he said something that woke me up. He said, you're very selfish. This whole time you thought about what you want, how you want this relationship to be. What about me? Have you thought of that? And that really got me to think that maybe I'm not only doing this in our relationship, but I'm doing this with every relationship in my life. So since that time, I dove into like self introspection. I started meditating. I actually went into a depression in October 2019. After coming back from Israel, we went to visit Jerusalem, came back, went into a depression, and I didn't want to see anybody. I went to my normal meeting with work, but I was just sitting there looking out the window. And October in Minnesota at that time was really depressing, at least in my own world. When the leaves fall, when the sky is dark most of the time, it gets you. You get seasonal depression, right?
Sure.
And that was the first time ever. I remember walking to the bathroom, wiping my tears, and thinking, maybe it would be easier if I'm no longer here, if I just leave this world. And that thought briefly flashed my mind until I saw my daughter. I thought, but what's going to happen to my daughter without a mom? She will go to her dad, but so what? Well, what about my mom? She'll be heartbroken, not having me around anymore. And those thoughts I held on to kept me here.
Wow.
It kept me here in this world long enough so I can get help. I worked with a therapist for about 2 months, and it didn't work for me because I was relying on her to fix my problems. I noticed it because my emotion got better, my depression got better, and then it got worse. It went back to where it was. So that's when I know, okay, I need to work on this. I need to sit with the pain, the trauma, whatever it was. I need to bring it out and just let the storm ride. Just let it come, because most of us in this modern world, we so easily distract ourselves from our emotions because it is so difficult to just sit and be in this dark place that's painful, and nobody is there and nobody can help you. Only you, your deep dark thoughts, and it's you against those demons that you have to fight. What is your light? My light was my daughter and my mom. And that I held on to that little light until I get to the end of the tunnel. And now I'm here with you. There's so much went on during the whole time that I was healing. And I share with Russell that recently, okay, you thought you have healed. You thought you have done the work for the last 5 years and you're good. No, there are still triggers that comes up and you just felt defeated at times. You're like, oh my God, I thought I worked on forgiving my enemy. And now I'm still rageful and angry about what happened. And you spend countless of hours working on that by yourself, right? Nobody was there for you. But those are the times where faith, believing in things happening for you for a reason, keeps me going. Like when you're going through all those pain. Now I'm thinking back to all the things that I went through. What is my cause here? Who am I supposed to serve with all this pain and all this healing? What does God want me to do with this life?
Wow.
Yeah. So when Russell asked me to come on this podcast, I'm like, I don't know what I want to. I don't have anything that I have mastered that I could share, but I could offer my story. And that's what I hope to do. My story can resonate with some people, and it can bring them out of the darkness or the shadow and begin healing.
That's oh man, that's powerful.
Powerful.
It is. Sally, so well said. I think that one of the things that resonates with me that you stated there is that you took time to really dive into yourself and to ask questions, right? That cause you to think. You're a deep thinker, but it caused you to think about your situation, about your daughter, what's going to happen, asking these questions. And some people will just leave. They're done. Life is over, right? Without thinking about all of that, the details of life. We'll get into it later, but about faith, because I want to ask you about that. But I know Dan's got a burning question inside.
Nice. Sally, so you were saying, and I wanted to kind of start with this. I feel like a lot of people live with this invisible script. They don't know their true purpose. They don't know their true meaning, and they don't really know how to find it. And you just kind of said that you rely on faith when you come upon those hard times and those triggers and those reminders. How does somebody kind of, in a way, find themselves? How do they use faith in their daily life where they say, hey, I don't really know my true purpose. How do I find it?
Oh my God.
Yep.
I wish I have an easier answer, but it's reading the Bible. I just picked up the Bible last month because of what happened in September with Charlie Kirk and his wife and whatnot, and that has really inspired our family. My husband Michael is like, hey honey, how about we start going to church? And we're not religious. I am more of a Taoist. Our family is more of a Taoist, where we worship our ancestors and pray to the sky and the earth, that kind of thing. So when he mentioned that, I said, yes, let's go. Because now more than ever, I feel like we must be rooted strongly in faith. Faith in the Creator, faith in what we're here for as human beings and our purpose on earth. And I want to build a community where my children can grow up safe and have strong faith, knowing themselves truly. And when I read the Bible, I'm going to share this story with you. Michael and I, when we started our relationship, it was rough. We were business friends for 4 years before we started being in an intimate relationship. It was awkward as heck when we started because we're like, okay, what do we do? And I brought in this very masculine energy in our relationship because I was a leader in my organization and I was leading a team. And he obviously is very masculine as well. So we were like this the whole time. It was an explosive dynamic. And I wouldn't back down for anything. Even when I'm wrong, I'm like, yeah, but you get and Michael has been very supportive. If it wasn't for him, my whole journey of going down to the abyss and getting back up would not be as easy and as quickly, I feel like. And he has a lot of credits to do with that. I don't mention him often, but he's always there for me. We are like the mirror for our triggers. We are the mirror for our triggers, but we don't trigger each other and then leave. We sit there and we ask, how can we help? How can we grow stronger as a couple? And this whole time, as he's being such an amazing man, I could not receive any affection from him, any love from him. Even 3 months ago, I was asking him, like, do you really love me? This relationship is not going where I want because you're not dripping love on me. Like, honey, if I'm doing that, I'm not making money. So what do you want me to do? So when I read the Bible,
oh my gosh,
there's this footnote that says God created woman as a helper for men, not as a servant, not as a maid, as a helper, somebody who is as equally valuable, as equally worthy, just bring a different quality into the relationship. Just by that, I start understanding what my role is in this relationship and in this marriage. And I felt an immense lift from my shoulders that I don't have to do all this by myself in this relationship. I don't have to be the one who's in charge or in control. That's not my role. And honestly, I'm not doing a good job at it, obviously. So one day I called him up. I said, "Hey, honey, I submit to you as the leader of our relationship, of our family. I submit to you and I trust you, and I will support you to bring our family to an honorable, righteous
Mm.
family." For some reason, when I said I submit to you, I felt like I submit to God and I submit
Mm.
to faith, the universe, and all the goodness and all the blessings that it has been trying to give me, but I just shut the door. I'm like, it's
Mm.
not giving me what I want exactly how I expect it. I don't want it. I want it this way. But universe like, no, no, no. I have something better for you.
Mm.
You just need to allow me to come in. So yeah, reading the Bible was like a huge shift for me and our family so far.
Wow. That was powerful.
Yes.
Yeah. Um,
Everything that you said is powerful.
Everything you said was powerful. But it's interesting. It's interesting what you said there, though, because you relied on somebody around you at first. You looked to Michael, and I think we brought this up several times on this podcast, is that people try to figure things out themselves all the time. They don't try to rely on their community, the people around them, the family members. They try to resolve everything on their own. And I think that's overlooked. And me and Russ have discussed this with several guests and amongst ourselves on this podcast a number of times, is that people need to seek out their community, seek the people around them for help sometimes, and try to work things out with communication as opposed to just trying to do it yourself all the time. And I think that's overlooked a lot of times.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I was talking to Russell yesterday that everybody wants to be in a community, but most people don't know how to be part of the community. They
Yeah,
will
that's very
only do something out of their convenience.
yeah,
And
that's very well
not
said.
community.
Right. No, you're absolutely right.
Wow. I mean, we could end the session right now and I'd be extremely happy.
But we're not gonna.
But we're not going to. We're not going to. Sally, my goodness. Profound, really profound what you have said. And I want to comment on this, that there are so many people that are out there, people that are listening to this show, people that are not listening to this show. But for the ones that are, I want you to encourage people that are out there that are listening, whether they're hearing it live right now, they're going to check out the replay on a recording later, they're going to see this a year down the road, and they're going to listen to this podcast with Sally Phu that talks about sharing their story. I'm huge on that. Sharing their story. Can you expound upon that and the importance of that and what impact that can make for other people?
Yes. I grew up in a Chinese family where sharing your feelings a lot of time is not very welcome. And I'm pretty strong-headed. I remember as a child, I just throw tantrum when my mom cut my hair. I didn't want my hair to be cut, and she cut my hair like a boy cut it. And I would scream and rage, and there's so much rage inside of me, I feel like, since I was a little kid. And then growing up, I kind of toned it down a little bit because your parents kind of tell you, like, you got to stop that, otherwise you're not going to find a husband, or all those things. And for the longest time, I just thought I'm not very important in this world. I'm just one of the many 8 billion people. And one day I just decided to go up on stage. I attended many events in my 20s. And one day somebody asked, anybody have something they would like to share? And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, okay, I don't know. But I went because when I felt scared at that time, there's two outcomes. Either I sit here feeling scared, or I get up there doing what I need to do scared. So I chose to go up on stage and I started sharing maybe 1 minute about my story. And I encourage everybody to share their own story, because when I was sitting in my seat, I heard another young girl my age at that time, I think like 25 or something, started sharing about her struggles and what has happened to her since she working with a mentor and whatnot, that really inspired me to share, because that story touched me. It resonated with me. And I imagine, what if I come up and share, and some other girl or boy resonate with my story and started being braver and live like a little bit more courageous because of my story.
Yeah.
So yeah, share your story.
Yeah. People don't feel like their story is worthwhile, right? And I've said this before. Now that I'm an author, people who come up and talk to me about being an author, they always, I hear this so often, like, oh yeah, I started a book, or I want to start a book, or I've got, my story and everything. And I just encourage them to continue on, because the percentage of people that follow through and actually doing and following through and writing a book is very small, very small. Even though when you go to a bookstore, you're thinking, no, that's not possible because there's so many books, right? But your story says so much. Your story, Sally, says so much that is powerful, what you stated already. And to encourage those people that are out there to do, they don't have to write a book, but talk, share. There are principles in your life, things that happen in your life that are powerful. If you're introverted and you share that, and it just opens up your being to so much more, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So do you want to share? You want to share what's happening to you personally right now? That's about 12 weeks along, Sally.
Okay. We
Dan picks up on
found that we're pregnant. I'm
Wow.
pregnant, and I'm at 12 weeks. Thank you.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Man.
Too close to reveal. Well,
Yeah, it's been 13 years. Oh my gosh, I hope my family's not hearing. It's been 13 years since I was last pregnant, so I was a little nervous. And honestly, we wanted to be pregnant like 2 years ago. Well, I wanted to be, but because everybody around me, my sister, my friends, they were pregnant, and I'm like, I want to be pregnant too. Well, it didn't happen because I wanted the next pregnancy to be happy. I want to feel safe financially, emotionally, mentally. I want to feel supported. I do not want morning sickness. I want to feel great, all of that. So the universe, God, I'm going to use both words interchangeably. The universe, like, okay, I will give you that, but you're not ready. So I started preparing my body 2 years. It's been 2 years since, then until pregnancy. Now looking back, I'm like, how did I prepare myself? Well, first, mentally, I was preparing for what is to come. And I was preparing Michael. I was like, when I get pregnant, I'm going to be very what was the word?
Irritable.
Irritable, unreasonable at times.
Okay.
I'll be hungry, I'll be angry, all that stuff. And so far, it's been wonderful. I feel like a queen. When I want hot sandwich, you get me hot sandwich. There was one day I told him I want Vietnamese crepe, I want banh mi sandwich, and I want banana chocolate chip muffin.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Did you say banh mi sandwich?
Yes.
I know the owner. I met the owner in Capitola, Banh Mi.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's growing that business like crazy.
Wow. Yeah, it's a great business. I feel like it's simple. You just got to make the banh mi and the meat and just assemble them, and you have a great sandwich came out. So getting back to my story is that this has a lot to do with health and wellness, because as a 30-something-year-old woman, I was experiencing hormonal imbalance. I was breaking out every time of the month, and I felt crazy. There's no other words I can use to describe it. I just felt like I wasn't myself when the time's coming. And I felt irritable. I was mean, really short temper. And one day my daughter's like, when am I gonna get my period so I can be mean for no reason? And I thought, oh my gosh, that is so bad. I need to do something about it. So I started researching on PMS and things like that. And I ran across this girl named This Bella Ma, the steak and butter girl, she introduced me to
Butter.
the carnivore diet. So she introduced me to the carnivore diet, and I went cold turkey 2 weeks, just protein and fat. Now, I didn't eat enough fat, but I was like protein all the way. And I started losing weight. Now, mind you, I had barely any fat to lose. What I lost was inflammation. I first lost inflammation. I lost 4 pounds. And as I kept going with the diet, I increased more fat in my diet, continue with the protein. My mood was lifted and I felt happier when, okay, maybe you guys should try this, but don't eat butter when it's melted. Eat it cold from the fridge, okay? Just take a bite of it. Now, I recommend salted butter for beginners. You might feel a little.
The novice butter eaters.
Yeah, Dan, go to the fridge and let's try it live.
You might feel very happy after eating the butter. It's almost like you had a little shroom. But anyways, it's an amazing feeling. Now, after about 2 months or so, I noticed my cycle was a little better. It's lighter. I'm no longer snappy and being on everybody's back. And I started to really like the change. And what I learned was my hormone was balancing with every single meal that I was eating. Sometimes I eat 2 meals a day, sometimes 1 meal a day, because high protein, high fat is so satiated. You just don't feel like the need of eating more.
Yep.
So it's not that I was trying to lose weight. I was trying to be healthy, but I just started shredding some unwanted fat. And from balancing my hormones, I feel like that has helped me a lot with this pregnancy, because I was high protein, high fat. I was taking beef organ supplements. I'm still taking that. I get on electrolyte that has at least 1,000 milligram of sodium. That is a game changer, because I tried to change to different electrolyte that only offer like 500 milligram of sodium. Didn't do much for me. Yesterday, I went back on that 1,000 milligram sodium. I'm like, dang, I'm feeling energetic. I'm not drowsy or groggy. So, yeah.
Well, I have a little short story to tell before you ask your question, Dan. Is if you want to maintain your weight or even lose some weight, okay? I'm going to talk about this because I want people to go visit Flaming Thai in Minneapolis, okay? Now, Sally had her friend Danny meet us at the Flamin' Thai restaurant after I had landed. I'd been on the ground for about an hour. So we go to this restaurant. The food was amazing, okay? The first thing that Sally orders is jerky as an appetizer, all right? Long sticks of jerky. Now, you're going to hear my point as to why you can go into weight loss mode. As I was chewing on this jerky for a very long time, that's the point. I noticed to my right, I'm looking at Danny, and she's like taking off these little, now she's petite, she's taking off these little shreds and just eating a little bit at a time. I know the reason why. Because me, the man, I'm biting this jerky, taking off a hunk of meat and chewing this thing for literally like 3 minutes before I could swallow. Tasty, chewy, long lasting, and weight loss material for sure. Eat the jerky at Flamin' Thai. I guarantee you'll lose weight. Okay.
Hopefully the owner.
But go Danny's route and you'll get to eat more, because take little snippets. That's the key. That is the key. But that was fun. That was a great time.
So funny. He didn't finish his jerky, by the way. I could not. I just can't eat little tiny pieces like that. There was so much food for the three of us. It was ridiculous. That was a lot.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It was a lot.
I do feel though, like that diet, every time I've gone on carnivore, and Sally, do you know who Paul Saladino is?
Yeah.
Carnivore MD. Okay. So I aspire to get Paul Saladino on the show. Hopefully Paul Saladino is listening to this statement right now.
Let's go, Paul.
Step
up to the plate.
I would love to get him on the show for this reason. But I do feel that when I'm on that diet, not that I'm always on carnivore, but I do feel when I'm practicing it, I feel way better. I have more energy. I have, I'm better in the gym. I think I'm more awake. I think I'm more alert. I think I'm more focused, honestly. I noticed that if I introduce carbohydrates into the diet at any one point, like not to say like one small carbohydrate, but an excess of carbs during one day, that I feel tired. I'm not good in the gym. I'm unfocused. I think as that regimen stays like, whole, you feel way better, honestly. I mean, I don't know. Have you, just out of curiosity, not to get too scientific here, have you gotten any like lab tests done through the process, like blood work or anything like that while you were on it?
Yeah, we haven't gotten any lab tests. We want to, but keep pushing it off.
Yeah.
A lot of people also say how you feel might not be how your lab work look. So
Yeah.
you gotta take a look at it. But at the same time, I do not want to nitpick on my blood work because I have things to stress about in life. And I feel great.
Yeah.
What's matter to me right now?
No, I agree with you. And even if you listen to like Paul talk about it, he even says like there could be moderate rises or like, mild rises in certain lab levels, but overall your health is still at a better degree of wellness, we'll say, for lack of better words, as opposed to eating the carbohydrates and everything like that. Even if you have a moderate rise in LDLs and things of that nature, you're still better off in the long term with a moderate rise. There will be no true impact on you health wise. And I totally agree with that. And I think it's a good practice, honestly. I mean, I'm not trying to preach a diet on here. I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do, but I do feel way better. And I think you agree with that on that same diet focus.
Then sometimes I feel like we need to tell people what to do because most people going around in the world not knowing what the heck they want and don't know what to do.
Sure.
Sadly. And as a nation, I'm just like, just do this. Just do it. Now, when I haven't seen some of my friends for a while, and every time I see them again, they're like, Sally, you look skinnier. And I'm like, yeah, I got no fat to lose. So what you see is really just inflammation going down. It's really my face. Well, now I'm pregnant. It's different. But my face was slim and my belly was flat. I had like a teenage belly. And now I look like I'm bloated. Baby. One thing I have to tell you, because I'm so in tune with how my body feels, the minute something enters my body. Last Friday, I took Russell to the Bell Museum. I had some raw milk and a croissant in the morning. Did nothing for me, the croissant. I came home 1 o'clock. I was like, started going pale because that just didn't give me the energy that I needed. So immediately I had to have some protein.
Yep.
The minute I get protein, Michael can tell. He's like, wow, you look so much better. Because I was like, grumpy levels. The minute I had some good protein, some grass-fed beef that we got from the farm, I was like, yeah, let's go. Now have more energy. It's really that amazing.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. You know what she told me? As I was leaving, Michael was taking me to the airport, and there was about four of us that were meeting in their place, and we had stopped at Trader Joe's just before going up to their place, and so as I was getting ready to leave, she goes, "Here, take the jerky," and so that she had bought at Trader Joe's and was fresh as could be. It was just so delicious, great airplane food. Yeah. She tells me yesterday, she goes, "I wish I wouldn't have given you that."
You wanted it.
Oh, Sally, it's so funny. Now I know why your levels were so low.
So next time, just give me food.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sally, I'll capitalize real quick. Tell us a little bit about your book. I want to just touch on that for a second. The Art of Storytelling. Tell us a little bit about that book and what that book is about and what that book means to you.
That book really ties all the things that I'm trying to do is telling my life story in a way where it captivates people's attention. It's not just, oh yeah, yesterday I did this, but lay down the details. And that was like my very first book. I felt really, really nervous doing it. I got a lot of help, but I wanted this book to be a start of something amazing for my life and my daughter's life. If you read the front, it's dedicated to my daughter, and because she has so much to tell in the future with the intentions of gathering experiences and wisdom. And I hope that the books, the podcast, the posts that I make one day will reach her. If I'm not going to be there for her all the time, or for some reason she doesn't want to talk to me, right? She can grab the book and read some of my thoughts and hopefully run across some of my posts and think that, oh, so this is how my mom felt. I felt like that too. And she can resonate with me through those things. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
So
and I hope that book will also give people a little bit tools. You know, some immigrant Asian girl wrote this book scared, didn't think that it meant anything, but she put it out there anyways. Hopefully it will touch somebody, and whoever that grabs that book, The Art of Storytelling, it's a really thin book. Read through it with them, with their family, and just start telling stories as a way of lessons for the children instead of lecturing them all day until the cow goes home or whatever. Just tell them in the form of lessons. In the form of storytelling.
Yeah.
What I do for my kids. Yeah.
How can people find that book?
On Amazon. It's on Amazon. The Art of Storytelling by Sally Phu. You can find it on there. I think it's $12. I can't remember. Yeah. So the minute I got that book in the mail, I took a picture, posted it on, and then I showed it to my parents. The first thing they flipped to read was, who's this book dedicated to, and what's this book about? They didn't really flip to the book. They just went straight to the back.
Oh my goodness.
But
wow.
It's excellent the way you did that though, and the way you just said it, because I feel like a book like that, where it allows you to tell your story, will allow other people to challenge their limiting beliefs through story simultaneously. You agree with that? I feel like that's something that people will resonate with them and get out of a book like that, is that you put your feelings into something on paper, how you really felt, your true story. And then people can see that and say, wow, I was limited in my thought process and I was limited in my beliefs until I read what Sally wrote here. And now maybe I can supersede, and now maybe I could tell my story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I really would like to write a book more pertain to my own story, because the art of storytelling is more like a format on how to tell the story. I would like a book actually on my story sometime in the near future.
You will. You will. Yeah.
Awesome. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
When we have the event Impact Minneapolis today in September, your book is going to be on that table.
Yikes,
so for anybody that comes to that event next September is going to see your book, and I want people to make sure they pick that book up.
Yes, and I'm so stoked for that event. We are preparing already mentally for that event to come, and I'm so excited for what's in store, because we have so many little things and big things we want to give to the audience.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
Amazing.
So Sally, in wrapping up this amazing talk today, there is a statement that we make, but we also ask, and I want to ask you this question: is wellness is not about perfection, but it's about progress. Can you share with our audience, what does that mean to you?
100%, Russell. It's a progress. It's a habit. It is something that you must first desire to have wellness. I talk about this a lot. You have the desire to be healthy, and then the information that you need to be healthy, the community that you need, will come into your life. And because you have the desire, your what's it called? Reticular activating system knows what it's looking for, and it will attract those things, those materials and people much easier. And don't look at it as something that you will. Sometimes you take 10 steps backwards to go 1 step forward. And that is important, because in health and wellness, sometimes your body is so strained and so tired and exhausted. Maybe one day you need 24 hours of sleep in order to gain back the energy, and that is okay. It doesn't do that all the time. Reset is very important.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Well, when you paused there and you were like, what is that? And then you said reticular activated system. Yeah, that is exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, that was it.
I was right in tune with you. I was right in tune with you.
That's it. Sally, where
oh my gosh. Sally, this has been an incredible podcast.
I'm so happy.
You have been amazing today. Thank you. Thank you for being a guest, but thank you for coming on, sharing your heart, sharing your story, everything that's going on in your life, you know, and you're infectious. You are infectious, Sally, with you as a person, as a woman, as a leader, you know, in all aspects of life. And you're just going to continue to grow. You're going to continue to flourish. You and Michael's life, your family life, as it continues to grow, and your message is going to continue to get out there and impact people's lives. So thank you for coming and sharing. Where can people find you?
Where can people find you, Sally?
Yes, thanks so much. You can find me on my Instagram right now. I respond to that the most. It's Sally Phu. Yes.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Sally Phu, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Guys, this is Dual Coast signing off. Check us out next week. Please check us out on all social media handles at Dual Coast Podcast. Listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and soon to join iHeartRadio. Sally Phu, thank you so much again for being with us. Dual Coast signing off.
Thank you so much. It's awesome, Sally. Great job.
Awesome.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day, guys.